I'm by Onda River, and I believe that is a camera that monitors the height of the river in case of heavy rains or things like that, just to see if there's a flood danger or not. And I believe it's powered by these solar panels right here. And then there's also a solar panel here that probably powers something connected to this. Maybe there's some way this gets transmitted to the ward office, because I did know somebody years ago who worked in the ward office, and her job was emergency monitoring, and I think they had to physically come and take a look at the river sometimes. So this is probably one way to make that easier, because who wants to go outside in a typhoon and walk all the way to the river to see if there's a danger of flooding? So that's pretty interesting, pretty neat. So I'm out for a walk, and I made a video yesterday. So this is now January 3rd. So I've got one more day off. I've got tomorrow off, and it is about 3:30 in the afternoon. I walked on that side of the river already, and I crossed that bridge down there, and I come back here. This is a route I've made videos of before. And a lot of people out walking their dogs or jogging or cycling. It's nice weather again. There's been nice weather all of this holiday. No complaints. Now, of course, it's not below zero. It's not minus 20, minus 30. There's no snow. So it is chilly. You'll see people with gloves and hats, and some of them with down jackets. And there's a product called Heat Tech, which is a type of thermal underwear, particularly undershirts that people wear. But I don't really think that's necessary in a day like today. When you're in the shade, it's obviously cooler, but when you're under the sun, it's really nice. Now, there were a lot of people flying kites by the river yesterday, and Ondagawa kind of merges with another river, and that's the river I walk along on a different route I sometimes take. I thought there'd be people flying kites today, but apparently not. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep walking and talking. If I pass people, I don't care. So anyway, my weirdest dream this holiday was apparently a 1970s blaxploitation film about a vampire and his ghoul assistant. I don't know why I had a dream about that. I wasn't a character in the dream. Sometimes it was like a first-person perspective, like a video game, and I was trying to escape. But most of the time I was just following the experiences of the main character, and then later mostly the ghoul. He wasn't having a good time. His situation was pretty bad. Just checking. It's really bright. I wanted to make sure this was recording. So I have to make an amendment to my last video. I mentioned that Tanis set up the Christmas call. And I also thanked her for setting up the birthday call, the video chat back in June, but that was actually Liana. So thank you, Liana, for putting all that together. You know, I think I'm on the outs because of the time difference, but that is a really nice way to communicate with people. And since we couldn't be there in person for Mom's birthday, that was a really good thing that we did. So thank you again, Liana. Just look in the fields. I think Mom said those are called stooks. Oh, there's some people with their hobby gliders here. I won't videotape them for their privacy. But I'll find a place to sit down up here. Make it a bit easier to talk. There's some more stooks I can record, I guess. Oh, my hair is stupid. I don't get a haircut very often. Maybe every 3 to 4 months. So I'm kind of overdue. December or January should be haircut time. But I never know what to do with my hair. I don't really care. Just get it cut really short and then let it grow too long. I don't use mousse or gel or anything. But I'm sure you all click this video to hear me talk about hair. I am a beauty YouTuber after all. So those are what I think are called stooks. But maybe I'm mistaken. Anyway, back to Liana. Back in the 90s when I first came to Japan, one thing that all foreign teachers went through was a big withdrawal from North American entertainment. Now there are a lot of Japanese. I've been distracted by one person flying a kite over there. So there's somebody flying a kite. Anyway, there are a lot of Japanese TV channels, but of course they're all in Japanese, and a lot of them are just variety shows. Oh, it's so windy. Not windy, it's just breezy. And I just don't find Japanese TV that interesting. The dramas are low quality, and slowly through time, most of the performers are members of idol groups. So they don't sing well, they don't dance well, and they certainly don't act well, but they've got a fan base, so that seems to be the go-to for production companies, to use them as their stars to draw in a fan base. And yeah, there just wasn't that much to watch on Japanese TV for the most part. So what would happen was people would record TV back in their home countries and send it to Japan. Or you'd go to the, video shop and rent something. But movies came out here maybe 3 to 6 months after they went to theaters in North America, and then the same amount of time later before they came out on home media. And there was no internet, there was no streaming, there was no Amazon.com, there was nothing like that. So teachers would get videos from home and pass them around and share them with other teachers. And Liana and Mike recorded so much stuff for me. Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, X-Files. And yeah, that, I've thanked them before in a previous video, I'm sure. But thank you again for doing all that. That was always a big treat, and I would watch those videos over and over and over. There are some X-Files episodes I'm pretty sure I can recite by heart. Just because there's, nothing else to watch, let's just put in this video again, let it run for 6 hours on a day off, and put it on repeat. One time when I had the flu, I think I watched Aladdin, which I had purchased when I visited Canada. Watched Aladdin just on a loop. A whole day sitting in bed with a fever with the flu. So that was pretty trippy. I know all the Aladdin songs by heart too. But anyway, I'm out for my walk now. And when I get back to my apartment, I'm planning to make shortbread cookies. Now, I said I want to make a plastic model every month and bake something every month. So this will be my January baking if I bake the shortbread cookies today. And I want to bake Tracy's bread recipe that I got the summer before, which would have been 2019. But I'm afraid of yeast. I've never baked anything with yeast before, and recipes that I find online often mention specific brands or types of yeast, and in Japan I don't know the difference, if there is any, when I look at yeast in supermarkets, or how the whole chemistry of yeast works. I would hate to get the wrong kind of yeast and then wind up with a bunch of gloopy junk at home that I couldn't cook. But I figure once I just do it, it'll probably be easy, and I'm just making it harder in my mind. But I guess in February my target will be Tracy's bread recipe. Now Tracy had mentioned that you can make cinnamon rolls with it, which is something I want to do as well, because I like cinnamon buns, homemade cinnamon buns. So that'll be a first too. So maybe make some little bread rolls. I don't have a loaf pan or anything. I don't think I could make a loaf of bread in my oven. So some little bread rolls and some cinnamon rolls, cinnamon buns, will be my February target. So I've got some time to worry about that. But today I can get the baking done and do some more cleanup in my apartment. But for now I'm just gonna keep my walk. So this walk I take by the river on this side of the station is much more of a productive walk, because it culminates with me passing by 2 drugstores and 2 supermarkets, one of which is a discount supermarket. So this is a way to get a lot of my shopping done. Now I do have a dead light bulb in my living room, and I forgot to make a note of what type of bulb it is, because I've got these kind of ceiling chandelier lights with 2 circular fluorescent lights in them, and there's a smaller one and a larger one, and I don't want to buy the super large one and the medium sized one. I want to buy the medium-sized one and the small one, but there are different sizes of these bulbs, and they come in singles or in pairs of 2, and I always burn out the outer ring, because when you put it on low, the outer ring lights up and the inner ring turns off. So I've got like lots of these little packs with the inner ring that's never been used, but I have to get an outer ring, and I forgot to make a note of which particular size I have to get. So I guess I'll be taking another walk tomorrow to buy a light bulb for my living room. Now I can just unplug the outer bulb and put it on high, and the outer bulb won't turn on, but the inner bulb will, and that's not very bright, but it's enough just to chill out in my living room and watch things on TV. Things meaning Netflix, streaming movies, YouTube videos. So yeah, that's a plan. Go out tomorrow, get a light bulb. And according to the forecast, it might start being rainy on Tuesday. Tuesday is when I go back to work, and rainy in January sometimes means light snow, depending how cold it gets. But, you know, who likes rain? Anyway, you know, you run to your car, get in the car, drive somewhere, get out, run to your building. But in Japan, you walk to the station. That's a good 10, 12 minutes outside with an umbrella. If it's windy, there goes your umbrella. Then for me, like from my mid-thighs or knees down, it's just wet because of the rain. So that's a gross way to start the day, with your lower pant legs and your shoes and socks wet. But anyway, I'll continue my walk, and when I get home, I'll put this online and you guys can see it. So thanks for watching.